Hey, what's going on? Happy Sunday. Another episode of the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, panel edition, is going down on this Sunday. I want to say hey to everybody who is in here right now. If you will please go ahead and share the broadcast out to your friends and your family in via inbox, the Twitter, the TikTok, whatever you want to do, just go ahead. And you know, like I'm getting old because that's everything I say is I put the in front of it or the in front of it, right? The TikTok, the Instagram, all that. So, what's going on, fellas? How's your Sunday? I mean, because you guys looking glum on me today. Kevin, you all right down there?
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah. Here you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, the system been woo.
It's been like that, but
It's been rough, but I put my god baby to sleep. Hopefully she stays asleep while I'm talking.
yeah.
Yeah, you stay
We'll see how
asleep.
it goes.
That's my
We'll see how
baby.
it goes.
But other than that, I'm feeling good, man. My Braves are, hopefully clinch everything today.
Oh
My
man, you and
Eagles,
them dang on Braves, I swear.
my Eagles winning. Hey, don't
Oh
get
God.
jealous, man. They're not the Chiefs. They're not the Royals. We are a winning
Shut your face. We
team.
got we got the Bucks tonight.
Winning
So we're
teams.
excited. Yeah. Okay.
Two winning teams on my side. Y'all, you see that Eagles hat right there? That beautiful. And
Brother, you want a cookie?
hold on, let me turn it this way so you can
Oh
see
my
it.
God.
There it is. You see that? Yeah.
Anyway, Quinn, how was your week, man? Because Kevin was in the
Long.
war for death with this Brave
I
team.
had a very, very long but glorious week. I told y'all guys a few months ago, I had been working towards a promotion, and I didn't get the first one that I was trying to get. Well, Monday I got a phone call, and they was just like, "Hey, how's your day?" I'm like, "It's going decent. Well, let's see if we can make it great. How would you like to become a team lead?" And I'm like, "What?"
As long as the money
It was
comes with
like I was shooting just to be a tier 2, and
Right.
they're elevated me to the position that my managers had.
Right.
So it was like it comes with a $6 raise.
Hold on for a second.
Hello.
Hold on a second, Quinn, real quick. Hold up. Because we got a grand guest in the room today. We got a guest in the house. Hold on.
My boy E.
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
what is going on with reaching today? Y'all can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me?
Right.
And
I'm
for
sorry.
some reason,
I'm sorry,
the audio
Quinn.
sounds a
Continue.
little different. Everything
Oh.
sounds like
I
everybody
don't know.
sounds far away today.
I think Restream went through an update, I guess. Hold on a second.
Yeah, because Restream been on one today. Like I won't gonna make me punch somebody in that studio.
It might be me.
You see, now you sound a little you sound deeper, but
Right.
Okay, yeah. I'm deep anyway, bro. That's just what that is.
man, come on now, don't do that to our audience like that. You shooting blanks.
Hey,
So
boy,
can y'all hear me now?
yeah.
Yeah, we can hear
Oh.
you. It just
Do I
sounds.
sound
I think
far
it's
away?
Restream. Yeah, it's Restream, man. Restream tripping.
You got to probably go into the settings and then change your audio if you haven't.
Change it to communications, right?
Yeah, change it to. I got mine on Rodecaster.
That's what I got mine on.
Yeah. So who's winning the game? E, I know you're watching the game.
Man, I stopped watching it. It's 20-20, and
20. What? That's good. That's a good score. They tied game.
no, but see, the problem is they keep letting people creep up on them. They had the lead. They was at 20-3.
Yeah.
And then they kicked the field goal, and it was the 13-20. Now it's like 20-20. Like they keep letting them, creep up on them like that.
Well, let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and get the show started here. We're gonna go ahead and shout out boys over there at BS3. So hang tight on the video, please.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
right, you guys, and welcome back. So, if you have a show idea, if you are a streamer, if you are and want to be part of a network, please hit up Mr. Ben Suttereth the third. He's probably down somewhere down in the chat, and let him know that you have a show possibly that you're interested in bringing on. You got to do an audition. You got to do the Texas two-step and the Chinese typewriter with your hammer pants on before you can get on the network. But I'll just
Hammer.
Okay,
Don't do that, man. I ain't ready for that today. No.
Okay. I'm sure you don't have to do that. Not the hammer pants anyway. But
I don't know what it is about you and the hammer pants, bro. But ever since last year, my wedding, man, you've been trying these hammer pants to jump off.
Hammer.
Hey, if his hair ain't cut low, he might pull off that high top for Halloween and throw some hammer pants on.
I ain't never lied. Hey, can I get y'all up there right quick? Because my Eagles putting numbers up. Let's go, baby.
Oh, Lordy Jesus. Okay. So let's get into this real quick. For those on my page, they might come back and win this thing. But on my page, like last week, if you guys have been following me closely, my father-in-law had a liver transplant on last Monday. And he was in a bad way, you know what I'm saying? And so I put on my Facebook post was just asking for people for prayers and all of that. And so what I want to do though, everybody that did that, everybody on that post and sent prayers and sent thank yous, not thank you, prayers and all that jazz. I want to thank you for doing that for me. All my prayer warriors out there who put forth, let me tell you something. This man has absolutely amazed his doctors, and he is scheduled to come home on tomorrow.
Shut up, man.
And so I want to shout out all the doctors. Let me tell you something. Yeah, he's scheduled to come home tomorrow. So shout out,
news, man.
So I want to shout out all the doctors over there at Rush Hospital up in Chicago. My father-in-law, Timothy West, who's sitting up there. I don't know if he's watching it, but maybe he'll watch it later. But shout out to you, sir. And I just thank God that he is okay. My wife is still up there at his house getting things ready for him to come home tomorrow. And so I'm thankful. So everybody that was out there and had a part of it and said a prayer, shot one up for my father-in-law. Thank you so much.
I want to apologize, TC. I didn't see it due to the fact that I wasn't really on Facebook any this week.
Yeah.
It was like, go to work, get off work, go to bed. But
I figure it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Now,
but yeah, that's good news that he's coming home tomorrow.
Absolutely.
As a person speaking that has had a transplant, you usually don't get to come home when you're scheduled to. So if he's coming home
14 days. I mean, that's what they initially said, but he went from jaundice to his eyes are almost as clear as mine now after 3 days after surgery.
Wow.
So
it's two things to this. Shout out to the man above for looking out after your father-in-law.
Sure.
And I'm gonna say this because you haven't mentioned it yet. Shout out to Ms. Little, who's over your wife that's over there with her dad, taking putting things to puzzles together, having her dad's back, and at the same time still holding it down for you at home while being away. And shout out to you for actually shout out to you for actually holding your fort down, man. You you guys are an inspirational family, man. To be honest, y'all are an inspirational family to actually model a modeling family, man. We ain't all perfect, but y'all do a really good job at what y'all do, man.
Yeah, if she was listening, she'll probably throw a shout out at you later on. That was it's hard though, and that's something we'll get into a little bit later in the podcast and everything. But we lost a pioneer this past week. Mr. Artist Leon Ivy Jr., Mr. Coolio. Those of that know him. Let me put up a picture of him. So this is what we're going to do. I know that Facebook is going to mute this part of the program. I did not care. If you are watching this particular video right now, if you know the words to this song, I'm going to play it. You guys sing it right along with it, all right? So like I say, I know Facebook is going to mute it, and that's cool.
We don't care.
We don't care. We don't care.
You tell me what to do.
You know the words. Feel free to sing along.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never caught the man that didn't deserve it. We be treated like a punk, you know, less unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking. But you and your homies might be lying to y'all. I really hate the trip, but I gotta know. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Ooh, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the shit, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind, 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a low out gangster, set tripping banker, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, there ain't nothing but be the way I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24 the way it's going? I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to me that the ones we hurt are you and me? We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise.
So, lost to rest in peace, artist Ivy, otherwise known as Coolio. He held on to that hair for as long as he could.
Right. with those three little strands on both sides.
I'm telling you, even to death, he still had them. They're gonna put him in the casket. He's gonna have those little toothbrush. You know, but he was a good dude, and his music would transcend time. Like that's a good thing. As I was researching for the show today, I ran across this little tidbit. Maybe you guys knew, maybe I know I didn't know that he sampled Gangsta's Paradise from Stevie Wonder's song. Pastime Paradise.
That was know that.
Yeah, that was in the song. That was on the album Songs in the Key of Life. And he sampled that song, and Coolio died on the day that song debuted 46 years ago.
Wow.
So I didn't know that. I didn't know that. If anybody out there knew that, put that in the comment section. I'm gonna tell you that you lied because you did.
I'm here to tell you too.
Now, there's something I learned a while ago. Y'all know that like Coolio was one of the first hip hop artists on the Nickelodeon show All That.
All That, yeah.
Yeah. And he did Kenan and Kel's intro to their show for them for free because he felt like they were so cool. He was just like, yo, y'all cats are funny, y'all young doing your thing. Right. I'm gonna do. If y'all need something from me, let me know. So they was just like, when they got their show, it was like, let's hit Coolio up. He was like, yeah, I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like with this song, Stevie Wonder had 95% of the publishing on this song. Didn't know that?
Wow. I didn't know that at all.
95% of the publishing on that song he gets every time it's played. So you can imagine he's going to get paid. You won't see it, but you'll get to,
Wow.
Oh my God, bro.
Go to bed.
Okay. I always say I'm the one. Every time I think I'm the one driving the bus to Haiti, somebody
go to bed.
Somebody picks up. I'm a little bit better at this.
Hey, I tell you what, you my co-pilot, bro. That's what.
I just want Jesus to know I did not start this.
It wasn't me.
Not indulge in it.
I ain't had nothing to do with this neither. Not this time.
Hey. Bro, come on,
it wasn't me, Lord.
Come on, I'm good. We here.
I'm sorry.
He, on the other hand, I don't know what to do, Jesus.
I'm sorry. That was Yeah.
Send that lightning bolt thousands of miles away from me.
I just came. It just came out. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. All right. So we're gonna get into some of the podcasts today. Before we do that, though, I gotta pay a bill. Hold tight.
This episode is sponsored by FX's Atlanta. FX's Atlanta returns for its final season. Earn, Alfred, Darius, and Van are back in their hometown. But the question is, has Atlanta changed or have they? FX's Atlanta, the final season, all new, Thursdays on FX. Stream on Hulu.
I still haven't watched the episode of Atlanta. Sorry. I'm trying to. I'm trying. Life won't let me do it, man. Life
He
won't
just keep opening his mouth and inserting his foot.
I know. I'm sorry. Don't do it.
You only got 2, yo.
I'm sorry. And I'm trying, man. I'm telling you, I'm trying. Oh no, there's the guy, baby. There's the guy, baby. She's like, nope, I'm not having that. All right, so what we're gonna get into today, and this episode is gonna be near and dear to my heart because this is me on today because I was actually going to cancel the show today because of what I was going through and feeling. Okay, anxiety and things of this nature. For those of you guys that don't know, my wife has been not here the last 30 days, up with her father, taking care of him and all that while he got the transplant and all this. And as a man, I've really been in the place to emotionally struggling, right? Because I miss my wife. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's married, all right, have a significant other or whatever. And if she's gone, it's okay. She's gone for a couple of days here, a couple of days there, maybe a week. So but we're getting, a month. It was a month yesterday that she's been gone. And it's like, okay. Wait a minute. Okay.
What is wrong?
You know what's going on. And so Kevin said something in a group chat that we had this morning about, letting it out and being vulnerable and things of that nature. And it got me to thinking, maybe I should be more vulnerable, right? Maybe I should, be.
I mean, it's something we preach, man. We're on here on a weekly basis every Sunday, and we say it out loud over online that we want to change the future.
Yeah,
we want to be able to let our little kids say, "Hey, it's okay to be vulnerable" to their kids, and we want them to be vulnerable. We want to be that, but how come we can't do it ourselves?
Right.
And I understand it's hard because we were raised and brought up that way.
It's like,
but it's and like the Bible says, it's never, we can always change. If angels can change, we can change ourselves. So I figure, I put that little something in the chat, and I say we talk about it.
I say the important thing is to get it off your chest.
Yeah,
whatever it is. Now, when I say get it off your chest, just don't tell anybody.
Right.
Because once you tell a lot of people or a certain person, they can run with it and say, "Oh Lord."
Yeah, you have to be very careful about
that. I hate that we got to tiptoe nowadays on who we tell and this and that. You can't really trust, and there's not many people you could trust.
Right.
At all. Your wife is one you could trust. It should be able to trust.
Yeah, that's
the biggest mistake. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think what we as men need to do, and I say we men because we can tell women, we can tell our wives. I had to talk to my wife. She's my best friend. I have another best friend as well, but I feel we can tell women what we get it off our chest. They'll all right, cool. They accept us. That's why they married us. Hey, but at the end of the day, we fellas like us, me, Quinn, E, we got your back. But we don't want to just tell you that we got your back. We want to be able to say, "Hey, I'm option number 1, 2, 3, 4, XYZ. Hit me."
Yeah.
You be Peyton Manning. I'm gonna be on Randy Moss on the other end catching it.
Did you say Peyton?
Yeah, okay. I said it. Unless you want me to say Jalen Hurts and refer to my anyway. But what I'm trying to say is,
gotta go.
we men want to learn to be vulnerable, but we men on the other end got to learn to be able to be that punching bag, that fellow, that listening ear, that somebody got to get one of the fellas got to get something off their chest. We got to be able to be there to soften the blow. Shoot or what's the saying? Shoot the gun at a pillow. You hit me with what you got. I'm gonna be here to help you and listen and hear you out.
When I was going through my situations, the biggest mistake that I made was I was talking at Facebook, and because I believe that I didn't have anybody to talk to, and the reason why I say that is because when I was talking, I didn't think nobody was listening physically, so I took it to social media, and it was a rant for me every week.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Into somebody that I really looked up to, and they said, you in a polite way, they said you need to stay off of Facebook with your problems.
Yeah.
And I told that person, I said, well, when I try to talk to, my significant other, or when I talk to friends, I just felt like, because you can feel when people are interested. I don't know about you, but I feel when a person is not horning into what I'm saying.
Right.
And I take offense to that. I value breath very well. It's like once I start speaking and I'm losing singing, and people like
right.
Is he still talking like that? I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. So that's why I took to Facebook, because I wanted to see what other people was going to say.
Right.
But that was my only outlet. Right. If I felt like people wasn't wholeheartedly listening, where they said that, well, I'm here. Talk to me. And I all right, you gave me an invitation. I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
So I think that, and what I've learned is that you can only talk to certain people.
Yeah.
People that one will listen, and two won't take what you said and over there struggling like a mom.
Right. I'm glad you said that, E, because there's three things that I was reading as I was doing research. There are three things that we need to do is in order to learn how to be vulnerable, right? And we're gonna go through those three things during this episode of this podcast, right? So the first thing I'm going to bring up here, and there's something that I swear for me is the hardest thing to do, right? Because when you're doing this, it's hard to get a gauge on how people are going to react to you. Even if your opinion even matters. You ever had that? You'll be in that place to where I want to say something, but if I say something, it's not going to matter. You ever been there? I've been there, once or twice. But the first thing we're going to do, and learning how to be vulnerable, is to be honest. I think Kevin said something this morning in the group chat again. He said about being honest. Be honest.
Look at that boy dropping gems.
Listen, be honest with how you feel. I struggle in that arena. I'm gonna be honest with you, and everybody who's watching this video right now.
Let me ask you why I'm gonna kick it off. I want to kick it off and ask you why you struggle. Like, what holds you back from being, not the sense of just vulnerable, but the first step of actually letting it out?
Because I'm 47 years young, man, and I've lived this life a long time, right? And I've survived this long by keeping stuff in, right? I've been I've tried to do it honestly, like say what I felt one time before, and it just didn't pan out right. But it's just easier to, and it's not that I have any excuses or any kind of anything like that. It's just easier to say nothing, and just kind of hold it. Yeah. But then it's bad because you hold it, and then you're Quinn. I know I don't hear a fingernail clipper. I know I don't.
That's me taking my nails together.
I'm sorry because I can hear them. But, I'm like,
I can hear it too. I'm like, what?
Last
I was
week,
just sitting up here thinking, and I was like, when I got these little idiosyncrasies that when I was doing stuff, I'll stop. Let me stop.
Yes, but
I being honest, I have a hard. Okay, so there's a guy at my job that's been bothering me for some times.
Oh, we in the car. And have you ready?
Yeah. Are we like to know that? I'm just saying. Do we need to? We can make a trip.
Right. No, not like that. I mean, I would have popped him a long time ago, but
okay. I got the red.
He's like, okay, so he feels like I'm new.
Right.
I think I passed the new stage. I'm like sophomore now. And just recently, because my problem is I don't like conflict.
You don't?
I don't like conflict. I don't like to.
I like conflict.
What's the word? I don't like to escalate conflict.
Oh yeah.
So he's okay. So it's all right. So it's always a story. Yeah. His hands are wet, and he's trying to write something on a piece of paper.
He wets the paper up. I'm sure.
Yeah, to wet the paper up.
Right.
So he looks at me because I have my paperwork and I'm putting it down on the table. So he looks at me and says, "Hey, can you take this pen?" And gives me the pen. Red flag right there. He gives me the pen and tells me to write 230 on the piece of paper. And I look at him now. Normally, I'm nice, too damn nice.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, all right. But then I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. You ain't no damn secretary. Why is you writing for him? Easily could have took his hands and wiped it on his clothes, in which he had some coveralls on, and he could have wiped it on that.
Right.
And I thought about that. I said, what's wrong with your damn hands? And it came out because before it would have been like,
oh, it's petty.
Give me the pen. But it came out so, and he was like, man, my hands are wet. All right, and I got people in mind, so I can easily put my paper down and write your 230, or you could take your hands and wipe it on your overalls, dry your hands, and write your own damn time down. You ain't going to do it? Hell no, I'm not going to do it. The hell I look like a secretary?
Here you go. This is a perfect segue to this right here.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I don't.
So that me back then would have just bottled all of that up or thought about it. Mm-hmm. You know, I could have said this to that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it came out. And I felt so proud of myself. I was like, yes, you know.
But you know what? Some men struggle. I mean, I'm one of them. I struggle in that area, being honest, because you want to be, because there is a level of petty that still resides in me. Right. That if I come off too honest, I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings. This is what that is. And I don't want to come off that way. Because I feel like I've grown enough to where I could relinquish the level of petty and just deliver the honesty. But sometimes it's frustrating, you know, when you want to be honest with you really can't. You know, it's just like I tell you what happened. I tried to apply for a work from home job. Those of you guys that have been following me long enough see that I am no longer employed. However, I am doing my own thing and still making money. But I tried to apply for right with this company called Live Ops, LIVEOPS, Live Ops, and Live Ops. They tell me that there was a disclaimer at the beginning of the application process. They don't take Macs, and I'm like, you a lie. It ain't there. So I go through this whole process, wait for a week, I go through, and I get ready to pick my client that I'm going to work with, and I can't pass the little technical check they do at the end because you gotta have 2 monitors, you gotta have, you know, a Windows computer, which I did not know, or I never would apply for them, you know. And so in that moment, I can't work for them because I have a Mac computer versus a Windows. And when I tell you I lost it in the frustration, I lost it on this whole company. When I tell you I went Yelp
all the way in.
I went Twitter. I added them on.
I'm gonna write a letter.
You know how you?
I can.
You know how when you add them on
Terry,
Twitter.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, Terry.
Who's it?
I work from home,
Yeah.
and they want Windows PCs for a specific reason, and
Well,
I think it was supposed to be a known thing. That's probably why they probably didn't say it. Or when you look at
I had no
spec
clue.
requirements, like
Right.
when you looked at the spec requirements, did you see that it said Windows?
Yeah, when I got ready to do the client, because they had a client, Nike Voice is a client with live ops, and like two others that I was eligible for. And so when you go in, it'll give you all the requirements. And the first page doesn't say anything about a Windows computer until you get to the second page where you're applying for this client. The requirements are 2 monitors. You gotta have a certain headset, and you have to have Windows 10 because they don't support Windows 11.
Right.
So I was like, so I can't rep for you because I have a Mac. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's.
Go ahead.
Like we got some of my people, some people that work for me that they didn't get the equipment. Like my job sent me all my equipment, but some people decided they didn't want to be responsible for the equipment, so they wanted to work. They still wanted the job. They just didn't want to be responsible for the equipment. But they had Windows PCs, and they use Windows PCs because these are the contracts. These companies have contracts with software companies that only support Windows.
Right.
Bing.
So whatever the software you was going to use, it's not going to run on a Mac. It's going to only run on Windows.
It won't run at all.
And it's not only that. Depending on the company, even if you're a third-party company, they're vulnerable to hacks. Very vulnerable to hacks. If you're let's say you're not working. Let's say, for instance, you have a company that you're trying to apply for, which is Bank of America. They have call centers that work from home and from other places, but they also have third-party people that you go through instead of working directly under Bank of America or etc. So they're vulnerable because of their equipment that they run to connect to their towers and PCs from their home offices. So when you got a middleman in the middle, when you're working with technology, you're more vulnerable to be hacked than anyone else. So it's very easy to steal information. So, and Mac doesn't support a lot of these thefts and systems that they have to firewalls that they run, these companies run.
All right. So said all that to say this. To be honest, we kind of got off into a tangent with that one. That one went left on.
That was your fault.
But I in that particular instance, I told them exactly how I felt. I actually had a manager after the ad on Twitter. I got a manager to call me, and it didn't go well in the beginning because I went ahead and told him how I felt about it. There's no disclaimer.
Look at you.
I had to go and show. I'm just saying. All right.
So you being vulnerable to other people but not us? You know what?
I mean, I was mad about that. That was anger. I was mad about that. That's different. All right. So, all right. The second one. The number 2 thing that men need to do, I think, to get in or to be more vulnerable is to find a therapeutic hobby. Find a hobby. Go swimming. Do something. Live stream. Do a podcast.
I found my hobby.
What's your hobby?
My hobby is coaching.
That's your outlet.
I learned to cope. I learned because I had deaths. I had really close people that passed away in my life while I was coaching, and I was able to. Man, you know how they say, well, you leave all your problems when you walk in the front door of your job.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I stepped on that baseball field when I was coaching, I was just coach. I left everything in between, outside of those lines, and I was able to be Coach K, Coach Peoples, coach to those kids because they deserved my attention. So coaching became my coping mechanism. That's my thread.
Yeah.
So I definitely encourage, like you said, find your therapeutic hobby.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a hobby, you're gonna play these scenarios in your head. You're gonna be in your own head. You're gonna beat yourself up. And earlier, I felt like that's what you were doing, Terry, where you were beating yourself up. You were in your own head. You don't have your wife around. You don't have a hobby. You don't have your kids. You don't have anybody around you.
Yeah. Well, the
So
kids are
how are
here.
you? The kid. Oh, well, the kids are here.
Oh yeah, trust that they here. Yeah.
So, but you don't have anybody. You don't have anything to take your mind. The hobbies are to take your mind off of situations.
Right.
Like right now, I'm playing baseball and softball all over again. But I know that falls into my hobby.
You
So
play?
So find you a hobby. Get into something. Whether it's maybe it's collecting collectibles like cars that you put together or airplanes or something. Find you a niche. Because I guarantee you it takes a lot of stress off of you, man. It really you channel your focus into that hobby and it's worth it.
Here's my one of my hobbies is podcasting. For those of you that have not listened to the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, the audio version of this it's just me. If you ever listen to it, please go to your nearest podcasting platform and start listening. Tell me what you think.
I can't because you won't put me on Amazon. Never
mind. I actually, you know what? I talked to Amazon. They had the wrong RSS feed over there, and that's probably.
I'm gonna write a letter to
them. Quinn, what's one of your hobbies, Quinn?
I game, I build Gundams, and I podcast.
You build Gundams? I know. I had a friend of mine who just moved to Texas. Okay, and he did that. He did Gundams. I'm like, what the hell is a Gundam?
Yeah, Gundam. I know what that was. But like, so Gundam, and then that's what I was saying. Collectibles like that, like Gundam, like he has Transformers. People still put these things together. Model cars are very hard to put together.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm you have glue and stuff, right? I mean,
so I build these.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And
are they snap on? Or you got to glue them together? What's going on with
that? The little action figure ones that's like this. That's like 1,000 pieces to put together.
Ooh, yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
But it's a action figure that you have to put together yourself, and all the wings and stuff like that. But this all snaps on. It all snaps on. But like I just ordered some bigger ones that I'm gonna have to paint. Like I have to paint them and do all of. I'm gonna have to do all of that.
It's a pretty good hobby. I'm gonna tell you that because it takes a lot of your. It's very. How do you say? It takes a lot of your time.
Intuitive.
I can imagine.
Yeah, very.
And you're so focused on not breaking this.
That's not very tedious.
You're so focused.
Real quick, I'll break real quick. If you're watching this broadcast, please share this broadcast out with your family and friends. Drop some emojis. I'm not sure if you can because we can't see them on Restream, but we'll see them on Facebook if you do it. But please share the broadcast out. I really appreciate you. All right. So those Gundams, I heard about those. I heard those are very tedious, especially the smaller, the more tedious with the snap and all that jazz. I guess Legos is the same way, right?
If you get one, you need to. If you get new Gundams, you need one of these kits.
Oh Lord, you gotta buy a whole kit.
You don't need it, but I'm just telling you, it would be beneficial because you'll need some of these to, cut off. When you're breaking it off the plastic frames and stuff, you kind of like want to sand them down. Do all of this, clean them up. Like I'm just saying, like for me, it takes me to put that thing together. Probably takes me like 8 hours.
Oh no.
But that's because I'm a perfectionist and I don't want to halfway do it.
Right. I feel you. I'm gonna take another pause right here. Yeah, I just want to say to you, man, I am so sorry for your loss. I just checked the score on ESPN.
Moving on to the next topic.
What is one of your hobbies, sir? Other than jumping behind the mic?
Not actually the Ravens.
Right. I cut it off mid. I knew they was going to win because they start out they start out like, yeah, and then halftime they come out like they just drunk a energy drink and shit and just went on full throttle. Anywho, my hobby is, believe it or not, poetry and podcasting.
You spoken word there, bro?
I don't do spoken word. I like to.
You like? Oh,
I like.
okay.
Yeah, I like to listen to spoken word.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah. So, but my strongest hobby. Well, I can't. It's kind of my hobby, but podcasting. Ever since I started doing it and seeing how it's done.
Yeah.
I was like, man, like,
yeah.
I want to partake into
it's fun, man.
this. It's real fun and connecting with people. Just like I met you, Terry, and then through Terry I met Quinn and Kev, and
a lot of good fun.
I love meeting people. That's the thing. And through this thing, we met a whole. Oh my God! Through StreamYard, it was like a whole community, and it had a little drama in it. And I was like,
that's the same thing with the gaming community, bro. Like, I got a group of friends now. I've never seen any of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Never like physically seen them with or been like close to them, but I know so much about them because I talk to these people every day.
Right. I forgot. I forgot sometimes, like, Terry lives thousands of miles away. I just think Terry live around corners. But you'll be amazed at who you meet. Especially the underground, like online radio. I met so many people. And it just became, because when I got into it, I ain't know nobody, And once you get into it and, started, surfing who these people are and one of the interviews and things of that nature, and you meet their families, you hear their music and seeing what they do, it's like, man, you can't, that can't leave you. That's like riding a bike. You will never forget how to ride a bike.
That's right.
So it's embedded. Even if I say I'm giving it up, I can't.
Yeah, I say that.
You probably won't do it for a little while, but you'll be back to it eventually.
Right.
Now, sometimes you need that break from it.
Right.
For those of you guys who are watching that are brand new, if you're watching this right now, you are in with the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, along with my man Quinn to my right, I guess, Kevin down at the bottom, and then E Digger on the right, on the bottom right. If you don't know who these guys are, you need to follow them across social media platforms. E Digger be sharing some crazy ass stuff from TikTok. I'm not sure where you get that stuff from, and it's my people. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're going through the three steps that men should do to find themselves more vulnerable, so they can learn how to be
Terry.
Dealing with emotion. Yes, sir.
Yeah, outside of podcasting, what will be a secondary hobby for you?
Outside of podcasting?
Yeah.
Jesus, I don't think I have one. I have things that I enjoy doing, but something as far as a hobby.
It's not consistent. It's not a consistent thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Podcasting.
You need to find one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Even podcasting too. I mean, sometimes when I do my podcasting, when I do my audio podcast, which I love to do, it is so liberating. I can sit up here in my office, and when the kids are going to school, because Melissa hasn't been here, so Melissa she's in Illinois, and when Terry and Zariah go over to their respective schools, I can sit here in my office and I can do a whole podcast episode, and it's so liberating, and it's so
my second hobby was DJing.
DJ KP, is that what it was?
No, DJ 2020. And when I DJ'd, I used to DJ, and I hated. Yeah, I used to DJ. Well, you actually met me at the peak of my DJing.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised you don't remember that. Yeah, exactly. Dr. Peoples and all. But when I DJ'd, I didn't DJ for money. I hated when people won't pay me. I hated paying. I used to DJ because I was going through some things, some real life issues back then, and I literally channeled everything because I wasn't coaching back then. I was DJ. I was strictly DJing after work. And whether it was a club or a party, a quinceañera or a wedding or what have you, or whether it was just putting my own mixtape together, I literally put everything into my music. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I would go into 4 hours of just music, whether it was just listening to music or getting an inspiration from a song. It's just, it was a beautiful thing.
Oh man.
So that's what I'm saying. If you find your second hobby, Terry, you won't have no problem, man. I'm gonna tell you that now. It's gonna be good.
All right, so we are on our way. So we'll get down to number three. Number three reason, or number three thing that men need to do to find themselves more vulnerable. If you're in here, stay tuned. You still got the carbine tip of the week, and you have the meat of the week with E Digger coming up. So number three. See a freaking therapist.
Can we get rid of the notion that therapists don't work?
Let me just
we can get rid of it. I mean, because people want to think what they want to think.
I hate that people say that seeing a therapist doesn't work.
Let me get this out. When I found out that I was going on to, when I found out my kidneys were failing, when I found out my career that I had started was over, pretty much, I went into clinical. I was diagnosed with clinical depression.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I had to see a therapist. I saw a therapist for 3.5 years and never told my family. I'll just say I'm going to the doctor.
Yeah.
Because of the stigmatism in our community.
About seeing a therapist.
Because the last thing I didn't want to do is I'm going through all of this and someone calling me crazy to take a low blow.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons, like, vulnerability for me, I used to try to be very, very vulnerable, but I used to hate when it was used as a weapon against me.
Yeah.
So that's why I stopped being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And
I feel that. I feel that.
Because I would tell women, oh, you can tell me what's wrong, and you tell them what's wrong, what's going on. And then when the shit hit the fan, that's why such and such, such and such and such.
That's right. You're right. Yeah. But that's why you never tell, don't do that. I was watching
I stopped.
Yeah.
Like, I don't tell too many people my real problems anymore.
Right.
Like, on the surface stuff that I can brush off, no problem. But what's really going on internally, I don't do it because I feel like it's going to get spread around.
Right. Hello? Whoever that was.
Uber.
I heard
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. But yeah, listen, we as men know, and this goes for me. This show today, this episode today was for me. Okay.
I think that's me. I'm sorry.
That's
somebody outside.
And so, as men know, we have to find a way to make it work somehow. I get emotional. I'm more emotional than I would ever tell anybody because, you're like Quinn said. I mean, it's that fear of being judged and saying, "Oh, you a punk. You soft as tissue paper," and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, nothing. I'm soft. I'm emotional too. Tell them to hold up.
Terry said, "Hold the hell up."
Hey,
you're doing a podcast.
Here's the thing, Terry. I can reach out and punch a dude in the mouth.
Yeah.
But talking sideways.
Right.
I can't do that to a woman.
You can't do that to a woman.
Yeah.
So
because when she get to flapping her gums and going, I gotta sit there and take it, walk out. But by the time I walked out to lead the situation, she done shot off a whole round.
Right. So the thing with you, Quinn, is that something I had to go through it too, and I had to forgive some folks that really, really hurt me in that arena. So I feel that, and it's hard. You're right. You can punch a dude in the mouth you can rock his ship and talking sideways, but you can't do that to a chick. So you gotta have to, we got to figure out a way to do that. But be honest, the three things that I went through. Those of you who were not here at the top of the show, the three things that we talked about for men to be vulnerable was one, to be honest with how you feel, find your hobby, and see a therapist. Those are the 3 things that we definitely need to get to and learn how to do, because we can't continue. I can't continue like this. I'm 47 years old. You look at, Coolio, look at David Arnold, you look at some of the folks that we have lost recently. All these men had underlying health conditions, issues, and all that, because they probably were dealing with stress. And that's one of those things. I don't want to deal with stress like that. I don't want to, live my life like that. So I need to learn how to kind of get everything I need to, out in the open, find somebody, some folks to talk to. I got 3 homeboys that I could have just called up and said, yo, this is what I'm feeling. But even in the calling of the homeboys, it's still that level of, you gonna talk about me after we hang up. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
And I'm glad you said that, because we have to get rid of that mindset, because at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter what anyone else thinks about you.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't. And when we get rid of this whole, this non-trust thing, see that this comes from self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it comes from trusting people that shouldn't be trusted in the first place.
Right.
So now we got other guys that are, that come in the circle, and you say you can't really trust them, but how do you know?
Yeah.
Go keep.
I like me. It's not a trust thing. It's I don't want to bother them with my shit.
Right. That's what that is. I don't.
For me, I was like, man, they got their own shit going on. Why would I go and try to dump my garbage on top of their garbage? And now,
and if I had a superhero cape, I'd put it on right now and tell you, give me all your problems. I ain't God, but I'll help you work through it.
That's the thing. I don't have a problem with anybody calling me. It's me having a problem with calling someone else.
Right. That's me too, though. That's me too. All right. So listen,
because say for instance, everything Terry has told us about what's going on. If I was actually going through something, there's no way consciously in my mind that would let me call Terry to talk to him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because he got his own shit he's going through.
Right. That's me. You know what I'm saying? I dare not call E Digger. I got E Digger's phone number in my phone. I won't call E because I don't know if he's working. I don't know if he's on flex. And I know if he is working that day, I ain't fooling with E because I already know he pissed off.
But you can call
me. Yo, it was like E slipped out the
I hit the wrong thing. I was trying to push it up, but this damn
I tried to revert from everybody seeing that. I tried to cover it up. But Terry, you could call me though.
I know.
That's my thing. You can call me. I've always look. I don't mean to brag, ladies and gentlemen, and I know we gotta hurry up. I don't mean to brag, but I have never, ever, out of how many years over the decade I've known Terry, never missed a call from Terry, nor have I ever let him down or ignored him at any point.
Right, never. No, you never.
And even if I'm working, you can still call me, and if I see it, I'm going outside on break.
Yeah, man.
Because once I hear, that the person from out of town called, I'm like, wait, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Something's wrong. Yeah, when you ever get that phone call or text you ain't seen, or it's from out of town, and you like, ooh, something wrong. They don't ever call unless there's an issue or something.
Yeah.
That whether it's good or bad, it's something. It's never just a mellow call.
Right.
And that's just me, and I jump on those right away.
Yeah.
But I don't call people often, but I will send a text or shoot them a message on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter or something. And it's so informal, but it's like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Just to
what's up, Jeff?
Just to be like, hey, I'm staying in contact. But then I started getting into this also mode, like, damn, don't nobody ever hit me up just to see how I'm doing. So I'll stop doing it. Like, I know I'm gonna see Kel at least once a week, like visually, so I don't have to call him through the week.
Right.
I don't have to text him.
we were talking about. We'll go ahead and move on. Get to the end of the show here. We were talking about earlier about trust, and I trust you guys, and I should be more verbal with my trust and
I hope this is more insightful for you.
I'm gonna tell you who I don't trust, though. I'm gonna tell you who I don't trust. Yeah, meet for the week, man. That's that dude I don't trust.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the meep of the week.
Meep. That's right, good people. It is the meep of the week, where people do the stupidest of situations. Now, guys, I need your help. What is the number one, or probably a few rules when we go to the bathroom? Real quick.
Don't look over.
Yeah.
That's
skip a stall.
Skip a stall.
Skip a stall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. And don't check it more than 3 times.
Okay. Now, the reason why I say that is because a particular person that was in the bathroom wanted to hold a conversation with me.
Don't talk to me.
Now, you go into the bathroom, all communication stop.
Yeah. Don't talk to me.
Automatically stop. If you're using the urinal, if you're using the toilet, all communication ceases. You don't look over. You don't try to peek. All of that stop. All of it. Well, it don't even need to be going on in the first place. But communication stops. I'm at work. Right. I'm at work. I'm using the bathroom. I really locate the air spray before you let go. Right. I really had to go.
Yeah.
It was a long piss because I drank a lot of water. Once I drank a lot of water, it's a long piss. Right. And new dude just started. Hey man, what's up, man? I am at the stall. I am peeing. That means don't talk to me. So I'm giving him the eye like, dude, what are you doing? And he just couldn't get. So is the lockers in the back? Dude, when you walked in, you could have seen the damn lockers.
Yeah.
So we have a locker room / bathroom situation going on.
Right. I've been there. Yeah.
So when you go in, right, you got to pass the lockers to get to the bathroom.
Right.
So your mama must never told you about the bathroom room. Yeah. Your daddy must not told you about the bathroom room. So meep, I'm gonna share with you the bathroom rules. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. And skip a stall. If you come in the middle, that is the common golden rule. Why are you coming over here? Now that stool next to me better be broke while you coming in the middle.
Right. Get on a long conversation.
So the meet goes to you new dude, and contrary to popular belief, you're not going to get hired.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Hey,
come on, man.
I don't know if I made him meet me last week, but Ime Udoka, he can beat me for the year.
He's the meet me for the year.
I think the Ravens need to be a meet me for something. Dang, win a game, yo. Like, you had the lead.
They need to get Lamar. They need to put a team around Lamar.
No, I see. There's a frustration, and it's gonna be a big story. Y'all might want to see ESPN about the Ravens. Looks like Marcus Peters got into it with John Harbaugh, the head coach, threw his helmet and everything. He tried to get in his face, so it's blowing up on social media and on the news right now.
Yeah, he's gonna be around. Cartel buying of the week, and then we're gonna get on out of here. Make sure you know the laws in your state. Everybody has different laws depending on what state you live in, as far as lemon laws and things of that nature. Know the law, because a lot of times people will assume, let's say for example, Idaho has a lemon law, to where if you buy a car, is if it messes up within 3 days, you get to bring it back, all that jazz, right?
You buy a car, you get a lemon. Is
Right.
that the lemon house?
Some states don't have that. So know the
Some
laws
lemonade.
in your state. Strawberry Kool-Aid, baby. What do you say? Dookie combos could be a game. No, it might be next week. But anyway, know the laws in your state, and be versed in them when you go and sit down with a car salesman. I can't stress this enough with you guys. When you go to a car dealership, please be educated, right? Because you got some folks who's been in the car game, 30 years, 20 years, whatever. They know the ins and outs. People like Jeff Carlin, who's been selling cars for years. I've sold them for a couple of years. I mean, there's a way that they can finance you. So you have to finesse you. So you have to know your laws. You have to know the stuff. You have to be educated, credit, and all that good stuff when you go into a car. All right. And that, well, I don't know that one. BS cars, 34 years. See? Yeah. 34 years in the car game. So you got some folks that will finesse the crap out of you if you ain't careful. So it's very it's very, but if you ever have a question about the car business, or if you have a question about buying a car, please hit me up in the inbox. Hit up Quinn, hit up Kev, hit up E Diggers. Put it in the inbox. If you have a
I'm
question,
gonna forward you right over to
him. Yeah, forward send it on over, and we'll get it over to they'll get it to me, and I'll get that question answered for you, and I'll answer it on the next show. I promise you that. All right. So I want to thank everybody who came aboard, watched us today. I really appreciate it. If you shared the broadcast out, I appreciate you. Left a comment or threw an emoji, I really appreciate you. Again, shout out to BS3, Ben Sutter third, Jeff for coming through. Thank you for my supporters, prayer warriors, all of that. Shout out to Tim West for getting better and coming home tomorrow. Shout out to my lovely wife Melissa. And we'll see you guys. Quinn, do you have anybody want, this is a shout out corner. Anybody want to shout out?
I'll give a shout out to my wife and
Ben, the beautiful. What's up, girl?
My goddaughter over here is such a blessing to me. I want to send a shout out to her mom for letting me have her for the weekend. Shout out to my Braves for coming through and my Eagles for the win today. I love y'all. Shout out to everybody on Facebook watching us and supporting us.
Yeah. Jeff said he loved Jesus, but he cussed every once in a while. Bro. But we get out of here.
Shout out to everybody, to the powers that be, allowing me to take a day off.
Right. Chick-fil-A.
I try to be the serious face, but
you my Chick-fil-A. Quinn, what's shout out, bro? When we get out of here.
I would eat, bro. Shout out to the powers that be that allowed me to have a day off because it was a long week.
Oh man, I tell you what. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Remember remember you guys here at the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, panel edition. We love you, but God loves you more. We'll see you guys next week.